Hey, Miss Michelle.
Hey, girl.
Our listeners are going to hear a little extra noise.
And let's tell them why.
We're going to hear a little extra noise. We have the door open. We're actually recording. We're at the studio on our break.
Yes.
Recording.
I'm on my break.
I'm on my break.
Do you remember that? Do you remember what that's from?
Where's that from?
Do you remember, and I wonder if you were there. Maybe you weren't there.
Maybe I wasn't born yet.
And this could be irrelevant. You were born, bitch. We had an intern at KTU, and her name was Sky. And she used to dress in, like, African garb. Like, she was a woman of color, and she would wear...
Oh, the girl at the front desk?
She might have come back, but
No, not Kim Bada.
No, you're thinking of Robin Johnson.
Oh, I'm thinking of Robin Johnson.
Yeah, so you
Robin
must have
Johnson.
not have
And
been
then there
there.
was Kim Bada.
Yeah, Kenyatta.
Kenyatta.
You want to call him Kim Bottom. Kenyatta Simpson.
But there was a girl.
There was a girl named Sky, and she used to
I
answer
loved
her phone.
Robin Johnson.
Oh, who
she was
didn't?
great.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
And she'd come out, she'd be like, RuPaul!
Uh-huh.
RuPaul! Michelle! And she'd always have a joke. She's so funny.
I don't remember the girl in
You might
African-
not have been there. It might have been when I was on the next show, and you might
Yeah.
have moved here already. But she was an intern, and her name was Sky, and she never wanted to work, and she had such an attitude, but I loved her because she was a Virgo. But she was a woman with an attitude. She was a woman of color, honey, and you couldn't tell Hollywood and Goomba nothing, but she did.
Oh.
So they would go, Sky, can you take this call? And every time she would literally go, I'm on my break. Every time. And I would fall the fuck out. Every time Sky would be like, I'm on my break. With an
love
attitude.
that.
Yes.
I love it. Well, the reason that you're going to hear noises is because we have to keep this door open because I am wearing a full-on synthetic. I'm wearing 2 full-on synthetic wigs right now.
And we are in basically a bomb shelter.
We're in a bomb shelter. It's hot in this room.
And no windows.
And the air conditioner, I'm wanting the conditioned air to come in through the dough.
Yes.
And so that's why they may hear some noises
But
out
y'all
there.
don't mind, right?
They don't mind. They don't
Hit us up. You can tell us at RuPaulPodcast@gmail.com.
No, you can email me at 1-2-3-4-5-6-7-8-9-10.
At your
kiss,
ass.
Kiss my ass.
At kissmyass.
Yeah.
.co.uk.
You know what? I think I told you this story. Is on Sundays here. Are my lace?
Are you popping?
I hope not.
If you're popping, it's because it's hot.
It's because it's hot. I'm telling. What people don't realize is, I have these things, a system of pulleys and weights on my face,
yes,
so that it lifts it up. So it gets so. If it gets hot,
that
slip. Shit will slip.
Yeah.
So anyway. On Sundays I go to open houses here in Hollywood.
It's like a hobby.
It's great and it's free and it's free and it's good entertainment.
Do you do it because you want to see how they live, or do you do it to get ideas?
Of everything.
Or manifestation.
I'm looking for another house too, child.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? So
I go to the open houses in Compton. That's it.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So the realtor who's there, they want you to sign in.
Yes.
And I'm like, I ain't signing in.
They want you to sign in because they're going to bother you.
Yep. And they want to prove to the owner that people came by.
Yes.
But then the realtor wants to follow me around and say,
yes.
so and so this,
that's
and I'm
their
like,
job.
and I told, and I say, you don't have to sell me on it. I know just let me be. I would say that.
You do say that.
I do say that because they know I'm.
And you become me, Miss Charles, so you get scary. Do they listen to you?
They do because listen, I'm famous, so they know who I am, and so I'm like, you know what? Let me just look, and then they'll come up and say, where do you live? And I'll say, I live at 1234 Looky Loo Lane.
Shut up.
I swear to God.
I live at 666 Mockingbird Lane.
I will say that because I'm like, I am a prospective buyer.
Yeah, but that's really ballsy to ask a celebrity.
They do, but no,
where they live.
have to. If
Can't
you're
put
not
your
ballsy,
agency?
What?
Put your agency address down.
Well, I could do that, or the realtor that I work with, that she told me to write her name and all that stuff down. But the truth is, to be a realtor in this town, you have to be ballsy.
Realtor?
I don't. I just
or
said.
Do you say realtor? The word is realtor.
You know what? I say realtor.
But I've heard people. Both of my parents. My mother's a broker. She was an apprentice. What do you call it? Appraiser.
Yeah.
And my dad's been a broker and apprentice. My dad says realtor.
Is it?
It's realtor.
I bet. You know what? I bet the person is a realtor. I bet the agency is a realtor.
You are making this up?
I'm making it up.
Yes, you are making this up.
I'm making it up. Why do we say
things,
realtor?
But it's common. They'll have to tweet us when they hear us say
Realtor.
realtor versus realtor. But people say, I call my realtor.
I call my realtor. You know what? I'm gonna write down what is the producer is saying something?
Realtor.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's realtor.
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 No, realtor.
Oh, don't make me get realtor on you.
I'm gonna call my realtor.
Are you for realtor? No, I do. I say realtor.
You're not the only one. It's common. It's bizarre, but it's common.
It's like George Michaels and Donna Summers.
Yes, like Donna Summers, George Michaels. People will say realty.
What's
like she works at 21 cent 20? What's the first 21? Century 21 Realty.
Okay, now I don't know about
Realty.
that one.
Yeah. No, I've heard it. Realty.
So it's realtor.
Realtor.
I knew that. I just never questioned it.
Realtor.
Leave it to you
to point it out.
To point that out.
That's why they call me Michelle Whiteout Visage.
That's right. Now we have a great show today. We have Garcelle Beauvais on the show. Now, of course, you know her from television and modeling and Models Inc.
One of my favorites.
Yes. And of course, Chris Colfer from Glee. And did you know he's an author?
I knew that he was an author. Yes, I did know. But I was one of those uber fans of Glee.
Yeah.
For the first 4 seasons where I couldn't miss it. Like it was one of those must DVR, come home, watch type of situations. And I fell in love with this character. Kurt, I think, was pivotal in television for, the LGBT community. I think he was, the way he was bullied. And, there were a lot of real stories and the relationship he had with his father that was very loving and very sweet. And I loved his storyline, and I like him.
He's not only is he a writer, he is a prolific writer. He's written so many books.
Catalog, bitch.
He's got a damn catalog.
He got a catalog. His name was J.C. Penney.
You know what I'm saying? Him and Stephen King, girl.
They go hand in hand.
Well, he's coming for Stephen King.
He's the gay Stephen King. Yeah. He's Stephen Ging.
You're rotten. I'm gonna have to call my realtor on you,
girl. Speaking about Stephen King, you don't go to the movies though, do you?
No, I don't go to the movies.
Did you
I'll see him on the airplane, or I'll see him
with your
on
realtor?
Netflix with my realtor. Exactly.
Did you ever see the original It, the TV?
No, I never saw it. I know what it is. It's the clown, right? It's that clown.
We don't want to say it.
Yeah, I won't say it. La 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 la
so
la.
The promo. I love a scary movie.
You do, but you won't watch a CLOWN.
Nope. Will not happen. Not ever. I watched Killer Clowns from Outer Space once, and it was like, I could deal with that because that was so stupid that they wrapped him in friggin' cotton candy cocoons before they ate him, whatever.
I never saw it.
Anyway, point being, I love horror and I love Stephen King, but this one is...
It.
And first of all, because
they remade it, right?
Yes, Tim Curry was the Pennywise the clown.
Right.
Gorgeous, lovely Tim Curry.
I love him.
This one... If you like horror movies, and I don't know when our podcast here, when I'm even speaking about this, but it looks amazing.
Wait a minute. Okay, so you've seen it?
No, the trailer. So there's an extended trailer. And by the way, this is going to probably have been out for a year by the time.
Right, yeah. This airs. Wait a minute. So it's in theaters.
They redid it, and it's going to be in theaters, I think, in either September. I think it's September. But it looks so freaking scary.
Right.
So scary. Because I just went to see Annabelle Creation. It was terrible.
Really?
Yeah. And I used to be really
What's your
scared
favorite
of
scary movie? Is it Friday the 13th?
You mean recently or of all time?
Or just of all time? I want to get your scary movie DNA, your litmus test for what you consider scary.
Well, The Exorcist was my...
It's the scariest movie ever.
And The Shining is pretty frightening, too.
The Shining is more psychological.
And it gets too convoluted the Kubrickian way.
Yes.
So it gets a little convoluted.
But it's beautiful.
But the way it was shot is stunning. The performances were... I live for Shelley Duvall.
It's the first movie with Steadicam. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah.
No, I had no idea.
Yeah, that big wheel
but
shot.
But it makes sense.
Yeah, first movie with the Steadicam.
Makes sense. It's brilliantly shot. But it gets convoluted in that Kubrickian way.
Your eyebrows are gorgeous.
Thank you.
I can't keep my eyes off of them.
Karen Mitchell did them.
Karen Mitchell did them. Do you when you have different people who do your face?
Yes.
Can you tell the difference while they're doing it? Their technique, is it different?
100%.
Really?
My makeup artists are Karen Mitchell, Nicole Faulkner, a.k.a. Lipstick Nick, and Preston. I can't say his last name because it sounds like it's going to be Menzies, which means period.
Right. But we just call him Sherwin-Williams.
We call him Sherwin-Williams. Preston is Janet Jackson's makeup artist. So a lot of times I don't get to have Preston because Janet steals him from me. I mean, to be fair, she found him. I can tell a difference immediately. Like Hector, my hairdresser, who's always my hairdresser, I only have one. He'll say, I love the way Preston does your eyebrows. It's his favorite thing. And I love the way Nicole does my eyebrows. But I love the color Karen uses so much that I said, tell me what you use. Because I ordered it today from Amazon.
Is that that silver Dior pencil?
Nope. It's It's one thing. It's the only thing this company makes. They make a brow gel and they make an eye pencil. And the eye pencil's color is called Universal.
Mm-hmm.
They only have one. And as you can tell, I'm stalling because what I'm going to do
You're trying to find the name of the company.
I'm going to, and I just ordered it today, ironically. The pencil is by...
the shape is just so
that's
gorgeous.
her artistry.
Artistry.
The pencil is by Brenda Christian.
Uh-huh.
And it's called the Universal Brow Definer.
The Universal Brow
So
Definer.
It's on the lighter side for me because my hair is black.
Is it?
But listen, my hair is black and my eyebrows are dark brown.
Right.
And even I dye them when I get my hair done, right? I dye them black, but they always come up a little dark brown. This pencil lightens them up and makes them in more like the taupey family. But then she'll take a dark brow gel and go over them.
By Brenda Christian?
Nope, just by Anastasia. I use the Anastasia brow gel.
Yeah.
It's good, isn't it?
I love those brows. And they feel, the shape is different for you. They're different.
It's a little thicker.
Yeah, they're a little thicker.
Yeah.
I
love it. Yeah. This is more, she follows, Karen is more Real Woman.
Well, I work with Karen on Skin Wars and on
Fresh
that other
Paint.
show, Fresh Paint.
Yeah.
And I met her through there. And she's the one who turned me on to that Lemieux serum.
She made you become a serum?
She turned me into a serum whore.
Yeah.
I came to work one day and she had the serum. It was Lemieux, Lemieux.
Mm-hmm.
And she gave it to me and I fell in love with it. And this is, I think, a couple of years ago. And that's how anyway, what I was getting at is that, Karen Mitchell worked with Fran Cooper.
Who, by the way,
used to do Janet's makeup.
When Kevin passed,
Yep.
Fran Cooper became Janet's makeup artist.
Sure.
And Preston
Kevin
studied
O'Quan,
under,
of course.
Yes, Preston studied under Fran to learn Janet's face. So Preston does Erica Jane from The Real Housewives. He is amazing. And Karen, I'm so glad that you and Art, my stylist, recommended her because she's phenomenal.
I love Karen.
Yeah. And it's so important, and you can back me up. Sometimes you can be the best artist in the world and you can only take the ego and the personality for so long.
Yeah.
If you don't love to be around that person, it's hard to create with that person.
Yeah.
Not that you can't, it just makes it more difficult, and then you have to take your deep breath before you go to work. Karen has none of that.
None of that.
And she has worked with the biggest names.
Oh, when I was in New York a few months ago, they had flown her in she was working with Vanessa
Hudgens.
Bryant.
Oh yeah, and Vanessa
She was
Hudgens
here with
too.
Vanessa Hudgens too.
Yeah.
But I met her when she was working with Rebecca Romaine.
Yep.
And but you're so right. We're going to go to break in a minute, but I've worked with so many people over the years, not just in makeup or whatever, but with in everything. And you realize it's better to work with people who are easygoing than it is to work with people who are maybe so brilliantly talented, but they bring a bad energy to the room.
I've been told by you. I've been told by my friend Jeffrey Boyer Chapman. I've been told by my husband, even my mother when I was young. Surround yourself with like-minded people. The people that you want to be around, the people that kind of exude what you want to be or where you want to go or the path that you're trying to go down. And those are the people that are going to make you feel good and feel like you're supposed to be where you are.
Yeah.
And Karen's one of those people that makes me feel good. And and Nicole and Preston, and Hector, these are people
Hector,
where I can say, this isn't going where I want it to go. Do you mind if I? And they have no ego and no problem with it. And you work together. That's what artistry really is.
It really is. It's collaboration, and it's so important because I've had the opportunity to hire people over the years, and you think, who do you want to spend 6 weeks with? Who do you want to spend 2 months with on a project? And usually, it's the people who don't bring the baggage. And I've told this story many times. Many of the kids I started out with in the East Village, when I made it, so to speak, above 14th Street and got into corporate situations, I'd say, hey, come on with me. There's a place for you at the writer's table, or there's a place for you in production. They couldn't do it because they would bring that baggage from the East Village of their little selves with them. It's like you got to leave that behind.
Correct, and they couldn't.
They couldn't do it.
The minute you asked me, I packed my bags.
Yep.
I got in your car.
That's right.
And I remember the first time. I'll never forget.
When we did the VH1 show?
Yes.
Yeah.
The first time you said that you wanted me to be your sidekick on VH1, and
I know, I meant psychic, but you misunderstood me and thought sidekick.
So I automatically became your sidekick.
Yeah, exactly.
I never told you a day of what your fortune was going to be. I'm sorry I let you down. But I remember driving to the show and like calling my mother, because my mother was still around, and not knowing what I was like, Mom, it's happening. Like this, somebody believed in me as much. Like people don't help people the way that you helped me and helped me and always have been there for me. Yes, as a friend, but you've always believed in me and my talent and my work. You saw something in me that I always knew that I had, but people weren't getting it.
Yeah.
You got it the minute that I met you.
Oh, God, yes.
But I remember driving in one time, I don't know if you're going to remember this, and we had our driver that we had every day. I can't remember his name. Loved him.
Was it Bill?
I don't remember.
I think
he was so great.
Yeah, no, I think his name was Bill.
Was it Bill?
Yeah.
And I remember I had such a bad stomachache that day. Like I couldn't even stand up, and we were going to film VH1. It was after we got off the radio. You made Bill pull over at a bodega in New York City. You ran in, not me, and got some baking soda. And you put it in water, and you said, here. You spun it. You said, drink this.
Yes.
You made me drink it so the gas would break up and come out. And I was like, I felt it's so stupid, but that moment made me know how much you loved me as a person, as a friend.
Yes.
Not just as somebody that you think that makes you look better, or you like working with, and we are a team, or you believe in me. It was like, you love me and care about me as a person.
Yes.
And it was that little thing at that moment.
I do.
I know. I love you too. And I would give you all the baking soda in the world if I had it.
All right. We're going to take a break.
I have no idea how we got on any of those topics.
It's all right. I think our audience follows it very well.
They do.
All right. We're going to go to a break. We'll be right back with Chris Colfer.
Yes.
You know, Michelle, all these other mattress companies are scared because Casper is coming for them.
And they should be scared.
They should be. It's such a great product, and they've changed the game.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Well, they changed the game because they were the online retailer where everybody else, you had to go to their store and you had to go haggle with these people. And you're paying an arm and a leg. Not with Casper. They're an online retailer of premium mattresses for a fraction of the price. Casper brand mattresses combine multiple supportive memory foams for a quality sleep service with also the right amounts of both sink and bounce. I have to tell you, every single one in my family has one now.
I love sink and bounce. That sounds like Roger
Zapp and Roger.
Yes! Sink and bounce.
Sink and bounce. I love it. Start sleeping ahead of the curve with Casper, you guys. Get $50 towards select mattress purchases by visiting Casper.com/Rue and use that offer code RU at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Casper.com/Rue.
Oh, honey, I love me a good night's sleep, and I love me some good damn sheets.
Yes, honey.
Yeah,
and you know what that means.
Yes, them Boll & Branch sheets. I love them, Michelle.
And you know what, honey? We're never going to agree on everything because not everybody could agree on everything, but I think we can agree we all could use more sleep.
That's a lot of agreeing.
Right. Well, that's what we're doing. We're agreeing about more sleep, and you get a great night's sleep much easier sleeping on them Boll & Branch sheets.
Wait a minute. Is agreed code for something else?
No. But it can be. Listen, you guys, our listeners can get $50 off the first set of sheets at bollandbranch.com with the promo code RUE. $50 off your first set of sheets. These sheets will change your life. It's Boll & Branch, BOLL branch.com. Promo code RUE.
Fuck seduction.
Fuck seduction.
Yeah. All right, he is here. We've been talking about him. Chris Colfer is here.
Guys.
Hi.
Oh, thank you so much for I'm such a huge fan of this podcast.
You're a liar.
No, I'm not. I am a liar, but not about this.
No, well, because you're an actor, so you're a professional liar.
I
aren't
am.
You?
Oh, that's dark, isn't it?
It is dark.
Yeah.
And you're a writer.
He's an author, so you know he's a liar.
He knows how to
Big
spin tells.
I do.
How old were you when you wrote your first book? What was it called?
Oh gosh, it was called Magic Land, and I was about 4 or 5.
What?
Yep, 4 or 5, and it was about Santa Claus's daughter getting kidnapped by someone.
Wow, a
kind
dark
of sexy.
child.
Yes, dark
Forget
child.
about
Yeah.
Rodney Jerkins.
Now,
original.
are you an only child?
I'm not. I have a sister.
And so what's the time difference between?
She is 5 years younger than me.
Wow.
So you had a lot of time by yourself.
A lot of time by myself, and she has special needs. And I actually started writing as a kid as a way to kind of escape what my family was going through because of those needs.
What was your family going? Oh, because
of the
your sister.
Yeah,
and she probably took all the attention and time.
She did. Yeah, my parents were they were great parents. So they made sure we both had our proper moments. But she had a rare form of epilepsy where she had 50 seizures an hour.
Oh no!
So yeah, it was rough. Yeah.
Dear.
Has medical science figured out how to deal with that? Is it just medication?
They haven't stopped, but she's gotten a lot better. So now I think she's down to like 2 or 3 an hour or so.
An hour.
Yeah, but it's that medical marijuana stuff is what is so. It was kind of been a godsend for her.
And do you hear that the government is trying to say? Have you heard this?
Oh yes. Oh yeah, I've heard all about it.
So yesterday I heard a study came out that they're trying to say that medical marijuana is actually been proven as non-effective for pain.
A total lie.
Oh, I know all about it. But they're trying to ruin it for the people like
who need
sister
it.
Who need these things
You know
to
what?
live.
Yeah.
It's so interesting because when you think about these kind of things, you have to follow the money. And so
Did I just call you Kurt?
It's okay. I'm used to it.
Did I call you Kurt?
I think you did. Yeah.
Oh my God, Chris, I'm sorry.
It's right.
Who benefits? Well, you follow the money.
Yeah,
It's
the prescription companies.
Pharmaceutical companies.
Honey, it is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yeah.
And listen, we've talked to Adam Ruins Everything. We know all about conspiracy theories, and we ain't going to sign up for some of that. You know how we fall politically, but I'm going to say this. There are cures for AIDS. There are cures for cancer. There are cures for the common motherfucking cold. We will never get them in the United States of America because they would lose money.
Right.
And they're all
it's so
plant-based,
sad.
by the way.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
You know, it's just interesting that, what's inside the human psyche. I'm sure as a writer, you delve into this. Are you friends with Jessica Fletcher, the writer?
I'm not. No.
Because you do the same thing.
Yeah.
But she's a very good character study. You're looking at my lace front right now. I can tell.
No, I'm not. No, I'm looking at your beautiful eyes.
You're looking at my lace front.
This is me looking at your lace front. Now I'm looking at your eyes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
She has some beautiful eyes.
My eyes are
so
down
pretty.
here.
It's the opposite of what I always say.
I was looking at your third eye.
Oh yeah.
Her brown eyes.
But tell me about the writing, the writing process. You must study characters.
I mean, it's for me, it's more of a cry for help than it is a process, because I usually write all night. I hate writing during the day because I always get bothered with phone calls and my animals and my boyfriend, and so
Your animals.
my animal, yeah, right, exactly. So I write when everyone else is asleep, which is nice. But yeah, I think as a kid, I was just so fascinated by people. I mean, people are fascinating. So
Where'd you get the discipline to write like that?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's probably more mental illness than it is
Okay.
discipline, really.
Right.
I just, you have the need to get something out of your system. And I'm so glad I started. I published my first book in 2012, and I was like early 20s, and I'm so glad I did it then because I don't know if I'd have the confidence to do it now as an older,
as a
an
27-year-old.
older, right?
27, yeah.
Right. And
I age quick.
Yeah. Well, I bring up the character study because we're talking about pharmaceutical companies. You're talking about just the human psyche and what the elements that everybody has that allows them to do something as evil as say, pot is not something that you can use legally, or, all these kind of things. So that's why I brought that up. In character studies, I'm sure that comes into play when you're acting a role.
Absolutely. I think writing for villains in my books has been very therapeutic because there are some people in my life that I don't understand how they sleep at night for things they've done to people I love, things they've done to me, or people like the pharmaceutical companies. So that's been a really therapeutic process for me, kind of diving into what makes those characters evil.
Yeah. And how many books have you written?
I'm writing number 14.
What? Squeeze me?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, you have the deal.
Thank you.
You wrote your first one
2012.
2012 it came out.
And that was the with Little Brown. Is that who?
Yes, Little Brown. Yeah.
Are you still with Little Brown?
I'm still Little Brown.
Or are you Big
they're
Brown
incredible.
now?
Oh,
well, Big Brown?
Big Brown Colfer, they call me.
Well, Little Brown is the publisher, company,
yeah.
And you're still with them.
Still with them. They're wonderful, and they've really given me such freedom that we often don't really get in this industry. So it's been a wonderful.
And if you think about it, he's actually carved. We were just talking about this. He's carved out a new career. He's an actor, from Glee, and he had a great run on that show. Fantastic.
Yeah.
But he's carved out a whole new career.
That's what you got to do in
He's
this
grown
life.
up into this new
In this lifetime, we live long. You have to have many lifetimes in one lifetime. Think Quincy Jones and Jane Fonda. They're the poster childs for how many lives can you fit into one lifetime.
Exactly.
And where do you think you got this from? Because you realize not everybody has this kind of work ethic and ambition that you have.
Yeah, my grandmother probably. My grandmother was my biggest champion.
Your grandmother, the unsinkable Molly Brown?
She was close. She's more like the smoking.
Who would play her? Elaine Stritch?
Oh gosh, no. I did write a movie called Struck by Lightning, and the grandmother in that was based on her, and Polly Bergen played her.
Oh, I love.
She passed away.
Oh, was that her last role?
It was her last role.
Polly Bergen.
Yeah,
wow.
And she and I got super close, and I'd go visit her in Connecticut a few times.
Was this the grandmother from New Jersey?
No. She passed when I was younger. This grandmother is still alive and well, and still smoking. She had lung cancer, and she kept smoking. And we're like, Grandma, you have lung cancer. You can't smoke. She's like, only in one of them. So that's her. But no, she really she gave me such a thick skin because she'd always edit my stuff like when I was a kid, and so I'd give her like a page or so that I had written, and she'd edit it. She'd grammar check it, spell check it, and if she liked it, she'd keep it in a stack. But if she didn't like it, she'd crumble it up in front of me and throw it away and say, Christopher, you can do better.
Oh, I love that woman.
Isn't that great?
What's her name?
Her name is Fonda.
Fonda, like Jane Fonda.
Yeah, but it's an Indian name.
Or like La Fonda from Napoleon
Dynamite.
Napoleon
La Fonda, yeah. You think about that with kids. Like, is it nature or nurture? How much of that do you think comes from your grandmother Fonda sort of pushing you and sort of guiding you? How much of it is just you, just instinctively?
Well, I think a lot of both. I think I was auditioning for years and years and years before I ever booked Glee. I started auditioning when I was about 12, and then Glee was
Clovis.
My parents would drive me back and forth from.
How far is Clovis, California, from L.A., California?
About 3.5 hour drive.
What?
Yeah, it's by Fresno.
Oh,
yeah.
dear.
But they knew that was like my life. Ever since I was as long as I can remember, they knew that was what I wanted to do with my life. So they were very supportive. And
why were they living in Fresno? Are they in the lettuce business?
No.
Are they in the grape business?
It's all grapes up there. No, it's a good question. My dad's still up there, and I don't know why he's
Are
up
they
there.
together?
No, my mom passed away last year.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
But thank you. So my dad's still there. He works for the school district, and he's treated like a king there.
So he's never gonna go.
He's never gonna leave. Yeah. So they would drive me back and forth, and I think those years of rejection really kind of gave me a phobia of waiting for the phone to ring. So that's why I've always hopped on anything I possibly can.
Yeah. How did your mother die?
She I forgot. She had an accident, so it was kind of a
surprise.
It was a big surprise.
Wow.
Do you think you're over the grief?
I don't think you ever get over the grief of a parent, really. I mean, has your mom passed away?
Oh, yeah. Both my parents.
I don't know, because, not a day goes by that I don't think of her, or I wish something had gone said or unsaid, but she definitely haunts me. I get missed FaceTime calls on my cell phone from her account almost every day.
You are kidding me.
No, I have screen grabs I can show you, but we shut down all of her stuff.
You shut it down.
And it's always on days like when I have a book that comes out, or like I need a shoulder to cry on. It's always on days like that.
Oh,
and the funny thing is, with her and I, FaceTime was like my biggest annoyance, because she'd always FaceTime me in the middle of a big meeting or something.
Right.
And I'd always say, I can't FaceTime now. And she'd be like, well, when can you FaceTime me? And so yeah, no, it's really bizarre.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Now, do you deal with sort of mysticism in your books, or are they they're not mystery? But I keep wanting to turn you into Jessica Fletcher.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
From Murder, She Wrote.
Oh, Jessica Fletcher, of course.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, from Cabot Cove.
I
the
just
lady.
clicked. Right, of course. Yeah.
He's from Clovis Cove.
Clovis
Cove.
Yeah.
Right.
And so what, do your books ever deal with the supernatural like that?
Lightly. I am all about the supernatural, and I mean, oh my gosh.
I'm all about the unnatural.
Yeah, of course. Right. That's why we got into this business.
Yeah.
Right. No, and I love conspiracies and all that, so I do a light sprinkling of that. But they're adventure books for kids, and I wrote them for kids like me or like my sister who need an adventure, who need to escape reality. So I try to wing out reality if as much as I can.
Wing out reality. What does that mean?
Like focus on things that aren't reality.
Yeah.
And the fantasy world.
Yeah,
fantasy
that
world,
we like to create. Are you still working on, or I had thought that I had heard that you were working on a biopic about Noel Coward?
I was. I think I aged out of the project.
Wait,
What?
how do you?
Yeah.
Wait,
How do you age out of
I
my...
know. I look like I'm 12. I know.
Yes.
Because I was the movie was about him from age 15 to like 22, 23.
I would believe that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, you can still play it.
It was really, thank you. There's that element, and it's really difficult for an American actor to take on a British persona.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult.
It usually goes wrong.
It goes wrong. It goes wrong. It's a lot of pressure. So it might have been a blessing in disguise, you know. But yeah, no, I was supposed to play him in a biopic.
And they contacted you to do it,
They
or
did,
it was something that you pushed through?
Yeah, they just contacted me, and yeah, no, it was out of the blue.
Why do you think they wanted to do the Noel Coward show? He's got a fabulous story. It's an amazing story. But what do you think made them want to do that story?
Oh gosh, well it's bittersweet now. But I think it was. I think I really, you know, I write. I do a lot of things that he did, and I think I kind of embodied his spirit.
Right,
is how they put it to me.
Yeah, and I guess you did a lot of research on him.
Oh yeah, no,
Extensive.
Tons of books and learning to speak like him and yeah, it was so yeah, it's definitely a wound.
It may not be a total waste. Can you, as Noel Coward, can you tell Michelle Visage to sashay away?
Oh, he's
It says you are the say Michelle, you are the loser of this week's challenge. It is now time for you to sashay away as Noel Coward.
Oh God, let's see if I can do Michelle. Or he'd probably call you Michael Face. You are the loser of this challenge. Goodbye.
Because he was an actor too. He wrote Present Imperfect, but
present indicative, future indicative.
What's the thing with Liz Taylor and Richard Burton on Broadway?
Oh yes.
We'll get that. Okay, and then he was also an actor in films. Did he play the witch of in the Elizabeth Taylor film Boom? Didn't he play the warlock of something or another?
Yeah, something. Yeah, he definitely was in Boom. Yeah.
All right, so we'll move on from there. So now,
Private Lives.
Private Lives is
Private
what
Lives.
I was
Yes,
thinking
I love
of.
Private. Yes, right.
Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor.
They did it on Broadway.
Yeah, my favorite was The Vortex. That was my favorite Noel Coward.
Have you done theater?
Only when I was a kid. I grew up in the community theater, but I haven't done it since I moved to Hollywood.
Sure.
So, yeah.
That'd be great.
So
I'd
now,
love
okay,
to.
so since Noel Coward is off the table for you, what is your dream role? The Richard Benjamin story.
We were just talking about this.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot what it was. I would love to. For Broadway, I'd love to be. I'd love to be Seymour in Little Shop of Horrors.
Ooh,
if it's going to be a
yeah,
singing
that'd
thing.
Be great. That's crazy because you sing. Of course, you sing from Glee.
I
right?
do. Yeah. No, I haven't done it since Glee.
It's a lovely soprano.
But yeah, no, I won't have time for a little bit because my books have been purchased by Fox to turn into films.
Work, bitch.
Yeah,
Yes.
and so I'll be writing and directing those. So
Wait,
Directing too?
stop.
Hold
Back
on.
up. Hold up, Mr. Lover.
Yeah.
Back up.
I just want to throw that in there just so people don't think I was just sitting on my ass doing nothing. But
No way.
You're going to
yeah.
be directing.
directing, yeah.
Are you going to be now of the directors you've worked with? Who are you going to pattern your directing style? Are you going to be a tyrant?
Oh, probably. Yeah, I'll become a monster. Yeah, a monster with this voice. Yeah. Do it again. Where's my light? Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. Honestly, we had a when we were in Glee. Her name was Carol, and she was a script supervisor. That and also actually both of our script supervisors, their names were Carol and Babs, and they I think they taught me more about directing than anyone I did because they went from a position on the crew to then manning the crew, and just like what I learned from watching them do that, I think is some of the most valuable lessons I've had.
Now, which of your books is going to be the first thing you direct?
The first book in my series, it's called The Land of Stories: The Wishing Spell.
So the series is called The Land of Stories.
Yes.
And the book, specific book, is the Wishing Well.
The Wishing Spell. Yeah.
The Wishing Spell. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right? Our producer's trying to tell me something with his eyes, but his eyes are not very expressive. So.
That's what you would call dead behind the eyes. Yes.
Dead behind the eyes.
Could be that he has gas.
Yeah.
Yes.
The wishing spell. So that has to deal with the supernatural.
It deals with grief a lot, and that's kind of my goal with the movie is because we really don't have many things out there that help kids process grief.
Yeah.
So that would be my ultimate goal is to say here's a movie that hopefully will help kids process if they've lost a parent like the lead characters have in the book.
Well, I think you said it earlier. I think that grief grief is very difficult, but the truth is you never lose the people. You physically, the interesting thing is that my mother died probably, I don't know, in 1993. I don't know how long ago that was.
A lot of years.
My father died, I think maybe 7 years ago. Do you know, I've never cried over my father's death. I never have.
But there's a lot.
There's a lot to that. But I can tell you, if I thought about my mother right now, I could start crying.
Yeah.
Because I know her, and I feel her.
Yeah.
It's a different connection. But is that the ultimate the conclusion of the wishing well? Is that death is not the
wishing
end?
spells. You're making me think of Terrence Trent D'Arby. Wish me love,
the wishing well.
Yes,
I think the whole main point of the Land of Story series is I hope it redefines what happily ever after is. I think we've all been told it's a solution to all of life's problems, or we've been told that it's a finish line of some sort. When it really is more of a choice that we have to make every day, right?
Every day.
To live fully with joy and laughter and focus on all the good in life, despite the obstacles that come our way.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of the theme of the series.
Do you have a spiritual practice?
Not really. No, I'm kind of all over the place. I was raised evangelical, but my grandparents were reverends at a religious science church, which is basically The Secret, their practices. So, and it's funny, my mom always used to say, "Oh, don't listen to your grandparents, they're crazy." But it's crazy how those practices are so current and trendy nowadays.
Yeah.
Like the law of attraction and reincarnation.
Sure, yeah.
Religious sciences?
Religious science, yeah.
That's interesting because Michelle was raised unevangelical.
And it shows.
Yeah, it very does show.
Unorganized religion.
Yes. Well, Chris Colfer, you are just a joy and a beautiful young man. I'm so excited for your career and what everything you're going to do. You're going to do great. Oh, yeah. You've already done great. But at 27, all of this, it's pretty amazing.
Well, thank you for carving the path so I could. I really, I owe a lot to you.
I have a feeling, though, had I not even been here, you would have done it on your own anyway.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're a sweetheart. Well, thank you for joining us.
Of course, thank you. I'm so excited to be a part of this.
Michelle, my Casper mattress showed up on
Talk to me about it, baby.
Yeah, honey, it showed up on the doorstep ready to go, and it is a great product because what they say it does, it does. How often do you get to say that about something?
Well, this is what separates the prince from the paupers, because the people that have succeeded in all these years, the Disneys, the Coca-Colas, the brilliant brands are the ones that deliver a brilliant product.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, Casper mattress is a brilliant product.
Yes, that it is.
I love it. I told you we all have one. I told you I have two. No joke. I should just tweet a picture of it. Because I have the mattress on top of the mattress. The regular Casper with the wave on top.
Oh, girl.
The regular Casper with the wave on top. Well, I've got those two. And now Lola just turned 16. For her 16th birthday, she asked for a full-size Casper wave. Oh. And that's exactly what she's doing. And you guys could do it too. Start sleeping ahead of the curve with Casper. Get $50 towards select mattress purchases by visiting casper.com/Rue. Use that offer code RU at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Honey, you ain't ever going to look back. It's casper.com/Rue.
Child, I love me some good sleep.
There's nothing, studies have been proven that you can go through anything that you want to go through. You can go through therapy, get help. Nothing's going to change without a good night's sleep.
That's where your body heals itself. And that's how you can look younger. You can feel better. You can be the best that you can be if you get a good night's sleep.
Now, of course, you're going to get better sleep sleeping on Boll and Branch sheets.
I love them, Michelle. I love them.
They are... You know what my favorite thing about them is? After obviously they're 100% organic cotton. Everything you sleep on should be organic. Yeah. I don't care if you buy into it or not. I do. And think about your skin is your largest organ. Your organ is on top of that for how many hours? If you're lucky, 8 hours a night. On your face, on your body. You want organic cotton touching your skin. That's what I love. And what I love most is what I was trying to get to. When you wash it, they get even softer.
Really?
Softy soft.
Yes, they do.
I love them so much, you guys. And if you want to get started right now, our listeners get $50 off your first set of sheets. It's bollandbranch.com, BOLL and branch.com. $50 off your first set of sheets. They will change your life. bollandbranch.com. Promo code, you know what it is, RU.
See, I know that if I washed my sheets ever.
Well, now it's time to start washing them.
Garcelle Beauvais is in the house.
Hello.
Hey, Mama.
Hi.
Like Michelle and I were just talking about long careers and how do you sustain a long career in this town? And we're just saying the hardest part is staying interested in it.
As performers.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people just go, you know what? I'm going to go sell.
I'm giving this. You know what? I'm gonna go.
Work,
yeah.
I'm gonna work for my auntie.
You know what I'm saying?
I could have been selling coconuts in Haiti, but I decided it's too hot and humid.
You've been in this business for a long time.
I sure have.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I love this industry.
You do.
I love it. But we know what I love more than anything now is that we are not defined by one thing.
Yeah.
It's
you know what I
changed
mean?
a lot.
It's changed so much.
Yeah.
So I can be a TV host, I can be an actress, I can be an author, I can be a mom, and I think that has kept the interest for me.
Sure. Yeah.
Is the fact that I can get to do all kinds of things.
And
And
That's
now
right.
I'm producing.
You have twins.
Yeah.
I have twins who I can't get on the phone.
You say you're producing? You can't even. How old are they?
They're 9.
They're 9.
They're just started 4th grade.
Yeah.
Oh,
You say you're producing now?
I am. I started my own production company called Beauvais Wilson Productions.
Okay.
And I just did a short that deals with sex trafficking because I feel like this is something that we need to talk about because it's happening everywhere, not just, far away places where we don't know, in our own neighborhoods. So we did that and we're going out and we're pitching ideas and we've got some great ideas.
Oh,
so
that's great.
It's been really fun. Scripted, unscripted, everything.
I just read in the paper just less than an hour ago about they busted some sex trafficking place in Chino, which is about 20 miles from here.
Yeah.
So listen, it's everywhere. Anywhere you are, right? Think about 20 miles away from you or even closer. It's happening there.
You read about the one in the
Everywhere.
airplane, right? With this, did you read about this?
No,
The flight attendant saw the girl acting weird, and the girl went to the bathroom, left a note. The flight attendant went in after, found it said, "Help me."
Yeah.
I'm being sold.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
She saved her life.
Totally saved her life. I just did a panel on Saturday talking about sex trafficking. And this woman came up to me afterwards. She goes, I've been Ubering. She's got a daughter. Mm-hmm. She goes, I feel like I'm moving kids. Even though kids are not supposed to be able to ride, She says that I feel like
she's
people
a driver.
call. She's a driver. And people call and say, oh, can you pick up my daughter? She said, I really have the feeling that I'm moving kids.
Right.
She goes, I don't know where that's coming from.
Yeah.
Our neighborhood, that's what they do. The kids take Ubers.
Yeah.
They do.
But she has the feeling that she's doing something
She's
illegal.
doing Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I didn't even
absolutely.
think of that. It never occurred to me.
Me neither.
It's so funny. You do research on these different topics and you find out what's happening in the world and you realize it's not in our nature to imagine that people are doing these awful things.
Right, exactly.
Years ago, I had someone who personated me, not impersonated. The legal term is they personated me, meaning that
Assumed your identity?
They assumed my identity and they didn't. It wasn't like, haha, I'm joking. Okay, this is me now being Ru. They did it.
Wow.
And by the way, this man went to prison twice for doing it.
2 times.
2 times.
Because once wasn't enough.
Once wasn't enough. He did it for, he went to prison the first time for, I believe it was just under 6 years.
Wow.
And then the next time for 4 years. So 10 years of his life, he was personating me. But when I had to go to court.
So he was doing it twice to you.
Twice
using
to
your
me.
identity.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yes.
Once wasn't enough.
Yeah,
Wow.
to me.
What
And this
balls.
is back before,
And you had to see him? Look at his face?
The second time it went to court, they asked me to come and testify. I've never been in a courtroom before, and
scary.
I've never testified or anything. That was the only time. But the things that I read that he had done, it never even occurred to me that I could even do as myself. You know what I mean?
Did he look like you?
Right. No, he didn't look like me at all.
Of course not.
No, not at all. But it's just interesting, the things that you find out about in this life, and you think that people had figured out these kind of.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
They're actually saying now that drug traffickers are moving away from drugs because this sex trafficking is actually more lucrative.
Wow.
Are you kidding?
No,
Wow.
it's insane.
Where
It's
can we
insane.
see your film?
We're in post right now, and it's called Lalo's House.
Lalo's house.
Lalo's House, and it's loosely based on a nun who was actually running an orphanage in Haiti, but she was using the girls, and I play this character in the film, and she was trafficking the girls.
nun?
A nun. She's
Is
in
this
jail
a
now
true
in Haiti.
story?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
a nun
Yeah.
was trafficking girls.
That's
Unbelievable.
outrageous.
Yeah.
That's outrageous.
Yeah, she wasn't really a nun, but she was
Oh, she's playing a nun.
playing
Right,
a nun,
right.
but people thought she was.
They
Because who's
believe
gonna
her.
who's gonna question
Yeah.
a nun,
Yeah.
right?
Do you remember your life in Haiti at all?
I do, and for me, it was I love where I'm from. I mean, I'm truly proud of being Haitian. And I came to the States at the age of 7. I didn't speak a word of English. My mom moved us to Massachusetts in January. So it was freezing. There was so much snow. I hadn't seen white people. I thought she snapped and she was trying to kill us. I thought,
that is a
this
cruel
woman
joke.
snapped.
Yeah.
She's trying to kill us.
Because it's very warm in Haiti all the time.
Oh, 80 degrees like at midnight.
Oh, my goodness.
And I couldn't go to school right away because I didn't know the language. So I really learned to speak English watching Sesame Street.
And you have no trace.
It's incredible,
of an
right?
accent.
It's incredible. I think the younger you come, you're a sponge when you're a kid, and so you adapt.
Yeah.
But
do you still speak French?
I do. I speak French and Creole. My French is a little rusty. Creole's better. But yeah, I remember being in Haiti and just loving it, the warmth, going to preschool and it was just innocent and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And I just went back and took my 2 9-year-olds and to see the change. It's not the Haiti that I grew up in. And I said to my boys, I said to Jax, I said, give me 3 words that you would describe Haiti. And he said, tropical, hot, and run down.
Oh, because you were there for Papa Doc time.
Yeah. Baby Doc.
Baby Doc.
I was. Yeah. But it was it's a whole different thing because obviously politically it's never gotten a chance,
right?
And then you have the earthquake and then you have the hurricane. So we've been through a lot.
It's interesting, little pockets of the world that have bad luck or there's an energetic darkness surrounding it, and it's just interesting.
Haiti
how
always seems like it's one of them.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
And we are the most resilient people. The poorest of the poor walk around like they have everything because integrity, holding your head up high, hopeful, and believe in God and believe in things are going to change always.
Yes.
It's really incredible, which is probably where I got my persistence from.
Yeah, exactly. So then Massachusetts, which is a name of a state I've never been able to say correctly. Never been able to say it correctly.
Right now.
No, I didn't right now. No, I always want to say Massachusetts.
Right. Well, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Massachusetts.
There's a chew in there.
Is there a chew in there?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Did I say it right?
That was
Massachusetts.
good.
Yeah. So then you signed to Ford Modeling Agency at 17?
I did. So when I was 16, my mom was like, enough of the cold. We're moving to Miami. And plus, it's closer to Haiti.
Plus, I was going to say, everybody in Miami. You think it's
little
all Cuban.
Haiti.
Yes, it's all Haitian.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Haitians and Cubans.
Yeah, for sure.
Why did she go to Massachusetts in the first
place?
place?
We had family there, and she wanted to come to the States and at least have somebody, her village.
Yeah.
So then at the age of, at 16, she wanted to move there. And I was dancing, and I said, Mom, can I please finish my recital? So she let me finish my recital, and then we moved. And a friend of mine called me and said, hey, do you want to be an extra in a commercial? And I said, what's an extra? And then I had no idea. And he said, it's an orange juice commercial. You just hang around the background. I said, sure, no problem. So there was one of the principals of the commercial was this beautiful Black girl. And I was like, 2 days we shot this commercial. So the second day I said, God, I want to know, how is she doing that? I want to do what she's doing. Right? And so I went up to her and I said, hey, can you tell me who you're with? What agency? She wouldn't hear of it. She was like, girl, I'm not helping you. You're
That's the reality right there.
And so I found out who she was with. And I thought, I'm going to drive to Fort Lauderdale. She was with an agency there, Irene Marie. And I'm going to see if they're going to see me. I'm just going to drive. I don't know how it works. You make an appointment. I don't know. I'm going to go. So I'm driving to,
How old are you?
I'm
17?
Almost 17.
Okay.
I'm driving my mom's car. I'm driving to Fort Lauderdale because we lived in Miami. And I stop at a red light. And when I stop at the red light, I lean outside to look at the window, to look at the outside window to check my makeup. And as I do that, I realize I want to add more lip gloss. So as I'm reaching for my lip gloss, a hand comes in the car. Startles the hell out of me, right?
Yeah.
And so this woman goes, you should be a model. Here's my card. She was behind me, in the car behind me. And it was the owner of the agency that I was going to.
The Irene Marie.
Irene Marie herself.
Oh, my goodness.
Crazy, right?
Well,
crazy.
It's crazy. But, you realize that that's actually how life is supposed to work. That's how you know you're in the right place, that you're in the right place. Because your intuition knew to go there. And the universe was saying, yes, come here. Yes. This is right.
Yes. And so I went, and of course now I have the card, and you're supposed to see me.
Yeah.
And about 6 months later, Eileen Ford comes to scout, and she decided that I should go to New York. And she said to my mom, all she needs is a toothbrush. And my mom believed her, and sent me to New York at the age of 17. And I lived with Eileen for a few months because that model's house was full. And then that's how my career started.
And then we can't forget Please.
What?
Models Inc.
Yes!
I knew you wanted to go there.
I didn't even mention it.
I was just trying to lead
you'll
up
get
to
there.
there,
Go
Michelle.
ahead.
I knew that you wanted to go there immediately, because if we had it your way, you would start there.
Yes, I know. I'm not about foreplay at all.
I know.
I get right
But
to it.
what's interesting about the
Yeah.
Irene Marie story is that when a big agency comes down and scouts girls, do they pay out the rest of your contract with Irene Marie? How do they work that out?
No, because you really don't have. It's more like a verbal contract. You go to year, and if you don't make money, they don't make money.
Right.
So it's not like they have to buy you out. But I think somehow a certain percentage once I got to New York went to Irene Marie.
I see. Because I remember Irene Marie models.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
That's so funny.
Because a lot of girls from Florida. Because a long time, in the mid '80s and into the '90s, Miami was a huge hotspot.
Yes.
For modeling.
It took the place of New York.
Sure, and
It really did.
Yeah.
I mean, Miami Beach was like nothing but convalescent homes until the
Yes.
Germans started coming and shooting on the beach, and that's what changed it around because the weather was always good. So they
And
would shoot
Miami
the catalogs.
Vice.
And Miami Vice. put it on
Miami
the
Vice
map.
changed
Which
it
is
around.
early 80s.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, okay, so you were a successful model for years,
Yeah.
and then the acting thing happened. Was Models Inc. the first big acting job?
Yes. Well, I did bid parts while I was in New York, like The Cosby Show and Miami Vice, because I did.
Did you study acting?
Not in New York, I didn't. In LA, I did.
Mhm.
But I did like Miami Vice because I did a music video with Michael Mann, so he was the executive producer.
What was
of Miami
what
Vice.
was the music video?
Oh my God, it was Peter. Oh my God, very famous rock star.
Oh, Peter
Frampton?
York. Peter Wolf.
Peter Wolf.
Yes, yeah.
Why do you know that?
Oh, I'm a
Peter
music freak.
Wolf?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Peter Wolf was the lead singer of
I said Peter Frampton.
No, not Frampton. No.
No, he was the lead singer of another group. I can't remember. They
Alex,
had a
do you know?
He's gonna look.
He's
He's
looking
gonna
it
look
up.
it up. Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God.
So you did this music for Michael Mann, who was the famous creator and director of
Yes.
Miami Vice.
Totally. And Manhunter, the movie. I mean,
Oh
he's
yes,
just
so many movies.
so many things.
Yeah.
So then I met my first husband, and we got married 2 months later. Met on a blind date.
Wait, in the music video?
No. In real life.
In life.
So now, like 4 years later, I have my son Oliver.
Uh-huh.
So then I didn't want to raise him in New York City, so we decided we're going to move to California.
Was your then husband an actor also?
No, he was he had just taken the bar exam in New York.
He was a lawyer.
He was a lawyer.
Uh-huh.
And so we moved to LA, but I was still, modeling was my bread and butter.
You're still young.
I was, and I was going back and forth and still modeling. And then finally my agent's here. I got an agent. And they were like, are you going to really commit to being an actress? You need to be here. You got to stop going back and forth. And they said, oh, there's a show. This is crazy. There's a show coming up about models. You'd be great for it. And I said, great. So a month or so goes by and I hear nothing. And I go, hey, whatever happened to that show? And they said, well, they decided they're not going to see any black actresses. And I thought, wait a minute, it's a modeling show.
Uh-huh.
It's based out of New York.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have any black models?
Right.
What
Very
the hell?
realistic.
What the hell?
Right.
So that night I go to bed, I go to sleep, and being Haitian, we're superstitious. I have a dream that I'm talking to Aaron Spelling. So the next morning I wake up and I say nothing to my husband at the time. And I decide I'm going to find out where Aaron Spelling's office is.
Sure.
And I'm going to go there.
Yeah.
Because I know better. I don't know any better.
Uh-huh.
Right? So I get my portfolio and stuff together, and I go down. I find, and back then there was no security.
Yeah.
Right? You could walk it anywhere.
Uh-huh.
So it's 57 Wilshire is where he was at.
Uh-huh.
And I walk in, and there was a black receptionist, and I said, hey, I'd like to see Mr. Spelling. She goes, do you have an appointment? And I said, no. She goes, I'm sorry. It doesn't work like that. Did you say that? She's like, girl, are you crazy? So I said, will you please just give me his, will you give him my package? And she said, yes. And I said, will you really? And she said, I will. So the next day, I don't know where this is coming from. I call her. Being black, I'm like, maybe she'll, do me a solid.
Help a sister out.
Yeah, help a sister out.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I said. So the next day I said, did you give it to him? She goes, yeah, I gave it to him. I put it on his desk. And I said, okay. So 4 days later, I get a call from the casting director. I read for her, and then I read for Aaron Spelling.
Wow.
Like I dreamt about.
Oh my goodness.
And
Unbelievable.
I got on the show.
You got that voodoo.
Is
That's what you got right there.
crazy.
Yeah.
Now, okay, and on the show with you, was it Carrie Ann Moss?
Yes.
Who else was on the
blonde
show?
girl.
Kylie.
Yes.
Kylie. It's been so long.
Cassidy
you guys.
Ray.
Cassidy Ray, who was amazing.
How did I just pull that out of my
Cassidy
head?
Yeah.
Ray, Cameron Daddo. Gorgeous Australian guy. It was phenomenal.
And it ran for how many years did it run?
Not long.
No,
we
did one season.
No.
But we did 27 episodes because Aaron was really all about like trying to keep the audience so the summertime.
Right.
But I remember Carrie Ann Moss saying, I just read a script and she goes, I'm shooting this movie. I don't know if anybody's going to see it. Matrix.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
One of her favorite movies.
Oh,
Matrix.
Yeah, absolutely one of my favorite movies. And then you were on the Jamie Foxx show for many, many years. Was that called Sparks? No. Wait a minute. Am I getting too...
No, that was called the Jamie Foxx show.
Oh, but you were on a show called Sparks too? No, I thought it was called... No. So how many years did the Jamie Foxx show?
We did 100 episodes, 5 seasons.
Wow.
Amazing. And to this day, he is one of my favorite humans.
Yeah.
I love that man.
I just met him about a week and a half ago for the first time, and he was lovely.
He's lovely.
He was lovely.
It's always nice to hear.
There was none of that weird, like that weirdness that certain people, stars have. Yeah. There was none of that.
You want to know why?
He was great.
I think this is why. It's not in the case with Eddie Murphy, but I feel like a lot of the times, well, I mean, from what I know, I don't know him, but what you hear, I think when a lot of times people pay dues in the comedy clubs, this is for real, they either go that way, the bougie way, where it's like, or they keep it real because they've had to work their asses off. Yeah. And I feel like Jamie Foxx did it that way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I do. Now, for the people out there, the kids listening to our show, what do you know about models going into acting or just getting into modeling? What would you tell your 17-year-old self today that you know about your experience? Like, what is it? Is it the instinctual stuff that you followed your instinct?
Go with your instincts. I think don't sell your soul out for anything. If something doesn't feel right to you, don't do it. It may get you fame quicker, but will you be able to live with yourself? You know what I mean? I feel like or sustaining it. I feel like right now everybody wants to be famous really fast. They'll do anything to be famous.
Fame with no talent.
Right. And I think you need to sort of grow and sort of be humble and, work at it.
Sure.
There's nothing wrong with working at it. It doesn't mean you're not going to get the fame. Right. It may take you a little longer, but that's okay.
Yeah, but and you're absolutely right. But it's so hard to convince someone who is 16 years old, 17 years old, that's how, because all their friends, they think, I want to be like a Kardashian and get famous and just...
Yeah, but if somebody told you at 16, I know, you know my answer. If somebody told you at 16, no, you got to do it this way. You can't do that. I know what you would have done too because you were a rebel. I was a rebel. Obviously, you were a rebel. Yeah. You're going to buck that system. You're going to say, don't tell me what I can't do. I'm going to do it anyway.
Right.
So that's their mental state.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine having 2 kids and having to instill that.
I have 3 kids.
Yes. The oldest is how?
26.
Wait a minute.
So Oliver's 26.
Oliver's 26.
How did that happen?
I don't know. He'll walk in the house and I'll be like, who the hell is that? What the hell is happening?
Oh,
it's great. And if I'm having a date, I'm like, you have to leave. No one wants to see my man-child here.
I mean,
you
I
have
do.
to go. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He's probably gorgeous.
So what do you know? We're going to go to a break in a minute, but what do you know, having raised Oliver, and now you have the twins, what do you know about raising the twins that you learned from the Oliver experience?
I'm giving the twins less choices.
So smart.
I didn't have any choice, so then I went crazy with Oliver, giving them a choice, and I think there's got to be a balance.
They want boundaries.
And they do. Yeah. They do. Yesterday I said, you know what? There are no passwords on phones when you get phones. Everything is going to be, you have to be transparent.
How old are they? They're 9.
They're so smart nowadays. They're not like 9 when I was 9.
Girl, I didn't give my kids phones until they graduated 8th grade. Do you know how hated I was? That was their 8th grade.
The only kid.
They hated me. But the studies on cellular thing and brain cancer and brain tumors, it's real deal. So I said, no, I am picking you up and dropping you off every day. Tell me why you need a phone.
Yeah, good point.
But I understand the boundary thing. Yeah. I was hated for many years.
I could see that. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Whatever. I'm not your friend. I'm your parent.
That's it.
That's right. You know, I've said this many times, and I know we're going to go to break right now, but I'd be afraid to have children because I'd be afraid that I would fall too in love with them and that I would lose myself. Did you ever fear that?
Lose?
That you would fall too in love with the kid.
Yeah.
And that you couldn't tell.
with them.
Of course.
Yeah.
And that you couldn't, And I think a lot of people, a lot of parents, even my age or whatever, want to protect their kid, put a baby safe everything and protect their kids from the realities of the world. Because at least they can have this childhood to look back on where they don't have to deal with all the mishigas that's out there. That's all the horror. Even, the things that we know about, I would want to put a protective circle around them.
And you do as long as you can. But
for sure.
At some point, those bumpers come off the table corners and the socket protectors come out of the sockets.
But
you have to go fly.
But you still want to protect them though. I have my kids a week on, a week off with their dad. And I feel like I keep my TV on Cartoon Network because whenever they turn on the TV, I don't want them to see there was a school shooting or there's something crazy going on. But at the same time, they also need a little bit of reality too.
But they can get the reality from you and not the hardcore news.
Yeah.
Right.
There's ways of doing it.
But what's interesting? I mean, do you do them a disservice by protecting them so much that when they do get away from that protection, they're like, oh my God.
Yes,
Mom,
you do.
Why didn't you tell me?
Yes.
You do them a disservice. That's
You
why
said
do.
You said
do them.
Yeah.
There's a fine line that you walk.
Yeah.
And you have to know when the right time is. Listen, I didn't have any parents. My mother's dead. My father ain't going to help me raise a kid. So for me, I was on my own. My in-laws live in Wisconsin. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So my husband and I were on our own. And you have to just go for what you know.
Yeah.
And yes, you can overprotect a child. You have to be smart enough. And thank God I was raised in New York and New Jersey. So I am smart enough to go, kid, I'm going to push you a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're going to learn how to fly.
Right.
So you have to know that you can overprotect. It's not good for them.
It's not good for them.
Yeah.
For
And
sure.
letting them see too much is too much the other way.
Right.
You're going to
Right.
ruin them.
Or you try to give them in doses for their age.
Yes.
Sure.
You know?
So
Yeah.
you know when to tell them and when not to tell them.
Yeah. Well, maybe there's hope for Papa
There is
Roo.
hope for Papa Roo. Listen, my kids came to me and said, do I need to be scared about this nuclear thing in North Korea?
Yeah.
And we had to tell them, you're safe now, but there's a reality that, and this is how we stay aware and prepare. And we have gas masks in my house and things like that.
Do you really?
We do. Because you just don't know. Listen, I'm not crazy, but I want to walk the line that's protected.
But do you
want to
be the only person here? If
Right.
God forbid we all go, do you want to be the only one with the gas mask?
And trust me, girl,
Yeah.
I'd be the last one to survive in my house.
Yeah.
I'd be the first one to go.
Because you'd also have to learn how to clean water, find the water.
Oh, I got
Listen,
that.
You got the water.
I'm
the
already
filters.
exhausted. I'm not doing that.
I got it. Y'all can come to my house because I have you covered.
Okay,
right?
all right.
I got
Okay,
the food.
good.
I got the waters. I got a prepping room. I'm ready.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, Garcelle,
I am that girl.
Garcelle Beauvais, you are just such a great
you.
human being.
Thank
And, for young kids who are starting out in this, you're such a great example because you are a survivor.
Yes, ma'am.
And also the fact that you are following your intuition, which is something, I think it's probably the best thing you could teach your kids at an early age, is to learn how to use their own built-in GPS system.
Right, because we all got it.
We all got it.
But I think as you get older, you get a little scared and
Sure.
you're boxed in and you're afraid. But when you're young, you're like, what the hell?
100%.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining
Thanks for
us.
having me.
You're so
I
welcome.
adore you.
Oh, thank you.
I adore you.
Until next time, my dear.
Yeah.
Can I get an amen? If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen?
And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes.
If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Amen.